Exclusive contract from Feilu Novel Network Novel. National job transfer. I am a super skilled puppet master. Global variation, fusion of games and reality, and rampant monsters. Here, everyone has the opportunity to awaken their talent and switch professions. By exploring the dungeon of the secret realm and upgrading to kill monsters, they can become stronger. Wang Li awakened his SSS talent and transferred to become a spouse controller. Ding! Your life doll, Thunderbolt General, kills the Bullhead Beast King with an experience of plus 2000. Ding! Your life doll, Shizaki Kuang, kills the Dark Zombie King 3 times with an experience of plus 5000. Ding! Your life doll Kamisato Ayaka killed the giant black octopus. Everyone looked at the life figures around Wang Li who looked like immortals, and they were all dumbfounded. Isn't a couple controller a life profession? How can I kill a super god? Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. The Era of Job Transfer. System Activation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It's our class's turn soon. I hope I can awaken talents above level S. In my dream, there is everything. If I can awaken my A.level talent, your ancestral tomb will be filled with smoke. As long as I don't switch to a life-oriented profession, I don't want to be a lifelong assembly line worker. In fact, it's good for social animals to occasionally fish, but they're afraid that their awakening talents are too low and they'll be arranged to mine and move bricks. In Guangling City, 4th Middle School, Awakening and Career Transfer Square, a group of 16 or 17-year-old boys and girls are whispering. At this moment, everyone's inner tension and anticipation. Chen Ming, B.level, Ghost Swordsman, Combat Class. Lu Qingguan, C.level, Enchanter, Life-Oriented Profession. Zhao Yan, B.level, Clergyman, Auxiliary Profession. Next to the awakening stage testing instrument, the indifferent voice of the testing instructor kept ringing. Those students who completed the test, some were overjoyed, while others were frowning. Wang Lihuan was in the team of Class 2 of Grade 3, silently staring at the testing instruments on the awakening stage, following the team step by step. Having traveled to the world for so long, I wonder what talent I will awaken. Wang Li thought to himself. He didn't expect to travel into a world where monsters are rampant and everyone is changing jobs. This is a parallel world similar to Earth, called Blue Star. But what's different is that the world underwent a transformation 100 years ago. Because the once popular global game, Warrior OL, has completely integrated with reality, many spatial cracks have emerged around the world, and monsters inside have surged out of them, wreaking havoc on the world. As a result, the surface area of the blue star has expanded by tens of thousands of times, and the spatial cracks are still increasing, becoming countless dungeons of the secret realm. In the future, everyone can become stronger through promotion and job transfer. Decades ago, Longhua implemented a national 10-year compulsory education support plan. Every student who has received 10 years of compulsory education and is promoted to level 10 will have the opportunity to awaken their talents and switch careers at the age of 16. Undoubtedly, the level of talent determines the level of future achievements in a job transfer. For example, as a magician, for each level up, B.level talents have 2 more points of free allocation than C.level talents, and so on. As the level increases, the gap between them will continue to widen. If a student with a talent below level D is not capable of transferring to combat and support professions, they can also switch to life professions. So, in this era, everyone is equal and has the opportunity to change jobs. And today is the day when the Dragon Kingdom unifies the arrangement of awakening talents and changing positions ceremony. Lu Junkai, S.level talent, Fighter, Combat Class. At this moment, the testing instrument suddenly lit up a white beam of light. S.level. The test instructor was surprised and looked at the data displayed on the testing instrument. What? S.level talent. Before Lu Junkai could even regain his senses, the class teacher Lu Ziping ran up. Sleeping slot. Surprisingly, it's an S.level. I truly deserve to be the class monitor of Class 1. I have chosen to transfer to the position of fighting master. Fighter is the most suitable combat profession for commoners. With just hard work and physical training, there is great potential for 2 transformations. Oh my goodness. Our school has released S.talent professions. In an instant, the square boiled and all the students and teachers were shocked. Haha, the students in this class are not bad. Principal Cheng Jun couldn't help but burst out laughing excitedly when he saw this scene live in the main office of the teaching building. You should know that there are already 5 students in 4th high school who have not produced S.level talents. How can he not be excited? S.level talent fighter. Wang Li glanced at Lu Junkai, who had left the testing instrument with a proud expression on his face, showing a look of longing. He felt a bit uneasy in his heart and looked forward to his talent even more. Next up. Amidst the noise, the voice of the test instructor rang out again. Quickly, all the remaining students in the first class finished their tests. Although there were 7 or 8 A.level talent combat classes among them, with the impact of the previous S.level, everyone's reaction was not as strong as before. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your turn. At this moment, the homeroom teacher of Class 2, Guozhe, scanned all the students in Class 2. As soon as the words fell, most of the students' expressions became tense. You should know that this awakening talent test determines the direction of future destiny. No matter what talent you awaken, accept it calmly. Upon seeing this, Guozhe immediately spoke up and comforted, saying, You must understand that it is talent that chooses you, not talent that you choose. As long as you put in enough effort, even life-related professions can shine and shine. After speaking, Guozhe arranged for the first student in Class 2 to take a test on stage. After more than 10 seconds, the student's test results came out. Su Xing, B.level talent, mage, combat profession. Before the announcement from the test supervisor could be heard, Su Xing walked back to the class line feeling very disappointed. And everyone in Class 2 was whispering and discussing in a low voice. I don't think so. The class monitor's academic performance is so excellent, it's just a B.level talent. Yeah, the gap with Class 1 is too big. Next, under the arrangement of Guozhe, one student underwent a talent awakening and completed a job transfer. Finally, it's Wang Li's turn. Wang Li walked slowly to the testing instrument, feeling nervous in his heart. Wang Li, relax and put your hand on it. There are still many people waiting behind, said the test instructor calmly after looking at him. Wang Li's hand took a deep breath and reached out to place his hand on the testing instrument. In an instant, a mechanical and cold warning sound suddenly sounded in his mind. Ding, it has been detected that the host is awakening their talent transfer ceremony, and the Wanjia control master system is automatically binding. Chapter 2. Awakens SSS Talent. Surprisingly, it's a couple controller. You are listening at novelfull.audio. System. Wang hesitated for a moment, then he was overjoyed. After 10 years, the system has finally arrived. At this moment, the testing instructor next to him had a strange expression on his face, staring at the testing instrument. Why didn't you react? Does Wang Li lack talent? This is not scientific. He has been serving as a testing supervisor for the 4th high school for almost 10 years, and this is the first time this phenomenon has been seen. Students who have received 10 years of compulsory education and have been promoted to level 10, even if they are at a lower level, should still have an F level, right? The system binding is complete. Congratulations on obtaining the SSS talent and transitioning to Spool Control Master. Couple Controller. At the moment Wang Li heard the SSS talent, the corner of his mouth curled up, but then he froze. Wait, why add a soul in front? Also, why is it a life-oriented puppet controller? I want to switch to a combat-oriented profession. For the first time binding the system, you will receive a free drawing of the drawing and materials for making the Wangjia life doll. Do you want to draw it now? Before Wang Li could react, the shouting of the test instructor rang in his ear. Wang Li. At this moment, everyone's gaze was focused on Wang Li. Wang Li, your test has yielded results. Come back. Guozhe shouted from the audience, his eyes filled with disbelief and regret. How can this student, who ranks among the top in his class in academic performance, not awaken his talent? Many students find it unbelievable and cannot help but sympathize with Wang Li. Without awakening talent, even life-related professions cannot be changed. This not only leads to a mediocre life, but is also likely to be disliked by ordinary work units. Whether or not one can survive is a question. The rules of this world are so realistic and cruel. Buzz. However, in the next moment, the testing instrument, which was originally motionless, suddenly emitted a brilliant golden beam of light that shot straight into the sky, reflecting on the sky of Guangling 4th Middle School. In an instant, Wang Li's entire aura changed, his whole body shimmering with golden radiance, like a deity descending, causing everyone around him to feel shocked and completely dumbfounded. Sleeping slot. SSS Talent. The test instructor stared at the data displayed on the testing instrument with wide eyes. This scene was really shocking, making everyone stutter and freeze in place. Sleeping trough, awesome. What profession do you think Wang Lihue would choose? Definitely switching to a hidden profession, our school is going to become popular all over the country now. I thought it was an unprecedented record of inability to awaken talent, but unexpectedly, there was a divine turning point, and the testing instrument was delayed. I didn't have any eye twitching, did I, the toy handler? Yes, you read it right, it's a doll controller. Did that classmate get too excited and choose to switch to a doll controller by mistake? Yeah, awakening talents above level A has the qualification to choose a profession. Isn't choosing a hidden profession like Dark Warrior fragrant? I really don't understand. The golden beam of light quickly dissipated, and the test instructor looked at Wang Li with extremely complex eyes. He immediately spoke up and announced. Wang Li, SSS Talent, Control Puppet Master, Life-Oriented Profession. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone in the square's gaze towards Wang Li changed, with an undisguised envy and incomprehension. They really don't understand why Wang Li chose to be a couple controller when there are so many professions to choose from. In the entire 100 years since Blue Star entered the era of job transfer, according to world statistics, there are a total of 199 people who have awakened their SSS talent, with Dragon Country accounting for 1.5. Now, Dragon Country has produced another SSS gifted student, who is also the world's first SSS gifted life class. Among those who awaken SSS talents, most of them choose combat-based professions, with only a very small number choosing auxiliary-based professions. The principal and other senior leaders were puzzled by what happened to Wang Li, this once-in-a lifetime opportunity. Surprisingly choosing a career in the field of life. This is an SSS talent. Not to mention the 4th high school, even in the entire Nanyang province, there have never been SSS talent awakeners. Because once the profession is confirmed, it can no longer be changed. The awakening ceremony was not interrupted as a result and continued normally. Wang Ligong returned to the second-class team and was about to carefully check the system when he heard the call of the class teacher Guozhe. Wang Li, come out for a moment. Teacher Guo. Wang Li smiled and looked at Guozhe. You go to the teaching building office now, the principal wants to see you. Guozhe patted Wang Li's shoulder and said, since you have chosen to be a couple control teacher, then work hard in the future. You are the glory of class 2, and the teacher is proud of you. Thank you, Teacher Guo. Wang Li nodded, knowing that awakening SSS talent was a big deal for the school, and he also guessed why the principal wanted to find him. By the way, let's take a look at the main functions of the system. Wang Li walked towards the teaching building, his mind twitched, and an interface suddenly appeared in his mind. Chapter 3. Thunderbolt General Life Doll Drawing. New. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. There are 8 options on the interface. Personal information, life doll binding, item list, skill tree, mall, world lottery center, asset income record, reward record. Wang Li immediately clicked on his personal information. Level 10, Occupation. Soul Control Puppet Master. Equipment. None. Asset. 346, what is the balance of this asset and what is its purpose? Wang Lijun was puzzled. System prompt. Assets are your blue star coins. You can use blue star coins to purchase doll drawings, materials required for doll making, learn skills, and participate in lucky draws in the mall. This way. Wang Lipton's eyes lit up as he opened the shopping mall. The list was filled with goods, but all of them were gray and not a single item was available for purchase. He glanced and found that the lowest level doll blueprint was priced at 15,000. Sleeping slot, a drawing of the lowest level doll actually costs 15,000 yuan. Are you a bandit system? Wang Li is almost going to use foul language. System prompt. As a powerful couple controller, strong assets are the primary lifeline. Please work hard to earn blue star coins. Wang Li's face turned black. Blue star coin is the universal currency worldwide. His family background was already very poor, so poor that he had to work odd jobs every day after school, and his money never exceeded 500. I thought binding the system would change my destiny, but in the end, I became even more worried about money. Because when Wang Li crossed over, he was an orphan and helpless. If it weren't for the implementation of unconditional 10-year compulsory education in Longwa, there wouldn't even be opportunities to go to school. Fortunately, his academic performance is quite outstanding, coupled with his extremely high appearance, which has always made him very popular. In one sentence, Wang Li was so poor that he had nothing but his appearance. Speaking of which, I shouldn't be bound to this system. As we all know, besides being a decomposer, several other professions in the life department are very expensive. The key is that there is no combat effectiveness. What's the use of having SSS talent in space? System prompt. You still have one free drawing material for making the Wanjia life doll that has not been drawn. Please enter the Wanjia Lottery Center to check. I'm smoking. Wang Li immediately opened the Wanjia Lottery Center. In an instant, a spinning wheel appeared in his mind, with rows of densely packed small characters written on it. And the small font displays the names of various different dimensional worlds. For example, under one person, Soul Cage, Supernatural Academy, Genshin Joga, Naruto, Dragon Ball, Genshin Impact, League of Heroes. It can be said that it covers everything, and there is everything in every dimension. Immediately after, the pointer spun rapidly like a phantom. Congratulations on the Central Plains God World. 3 seconds later, the turntable disappeared, and Wang Li's mind showed another egg-twisting machine. Congratulations on successfully extracting the blueprint and materials for making the Thunderbolt General life doll. Please check them in your personal belongings section. This system is too conscientious, it provides full automation services. I really thank you very much. Wang Li was a bit speechless, but his mood improved a bit. Hey, are you Wang Li, the Awakening SSS Talent Control Master? The principal has been waiting for you in the office for a long time. At this moment, a crisp female voice came from the front, making Wang Li come to his senses and realize that he had already arrived at the front door of the main office of the teaching building. He has come here many times before, and even if he separates most of his thoughts to understand the system, he will not take the wrong path. Wang Li saw that it was the Deputy Director of Education, so he greeted her with a smile and walked in directly. Wang Li, you're here, sit down quickly. Watching the virtual projection, Cheng Jun, the principal of No. 4 Middle School, who was live streaming on Awakening Square, looked up at the sound and said with a smile. Wang Li nodded and sat down on the sofa chair opposite him. I heard that someone awakening their SSS talent can trigger celestial phenomena, like a miracle appearing. I never expected to have the privilege of witnessing it with my own eyes. Cheng Jun said with a sigh on his face. But I want to know, why did you choose a career in life control? He stared at Wang Li with a puzzled expression in his eyes, eager to know the answer. How great it would be if I were to switch to a hidden combat class. But this child happens to sigh. Principal Cheng, I was too nervous. My mind was in a mess at the time, and I accidentally chose a couple control teacher. Wang Li had anticipated that Cheng Jun would ask this question and was ready to speak. In fact, if it weren't for the system, he wouldn't want it either. Ah! Cheng Jun was speechless upon hearing this. Just then, his phone suddenly rang. Wait a moment, I'll take a call. Cheng Jun smiled at Wang Li and stood up to the corner of the wall to answer. Wang Li responded casually. He longed for Cheng Jun to let him go and immediately go home to make a life doll, Thunderbolt General. As it is the day of awakening their talents, students who have completed their awakening and job transfer can freely return home to prepare for the college entrance examination in 10 days. So, Wang Li was thinking about listening to what Cheng Jun said on the phone, but he was not interested in wanting to know. After a while, Cheng Jun smiled and sat down in front of him. Wang Li, I just received a call from the Municipal Education Bureau. The leaders have decided to reward you with 500,000 blue star coins as material funding for the production of puppet questions in the college entrance examination. 500,000. Wang Li's eyes lit up, and he didn't expect the Municipal Education Bureau to be willing to invest so much money for him. Do you accept the scenario task you triggered? At this moment, the sound of the system suddenly sounded. Chapter 4. Rich Task Rewards. Wang Li's Determination. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wang Li's heart moved and he accepted without hesitation. Scenario task. Participate in the college entrance examination combat department exam, become the top scorer in the combat department of Guangling City, reward assets of 5 million blue star coins, experience of 30,000, and 10 points of free attribute allocation. This is quite challenging. Wang Li's gaze narrowed slightly, as if lost in thought. Although the system has been activated, to be honest, the life doll has not yet been created, and he really has no confidence in it. The combat exam, as the name suggests, is about entering the secret realm and killing monsters, while the life exam is simply about making dolls. It also means that there is a risk of death when taking the combat department exam, but not the life department exam. However, despite this, the vast majority of people still choose to switch to combat-related professions. After all, which young person doesn't aspire to possess powerful power? Moreover, combat professions, regardless of their status and treatment, are currently the highest in Dragon Kingdom. After Wang Li transferred to become a puppet control division, his original basic combat skills have been transformed into the puppet control division's ability to make dolls. At this time, he does not have much combat ability, which means that if he wants to take the combat department exam, his biggest reliance is on the life doll. But this reward is too attractive for Wang Li. There are still 10 days left for the college entrance examination. No matter what, he has to put in a fight. Wang Li, classmate. Cheng Jun thought Wang Li was startled when he saw this. After all, 500,000 blue star coins are not a small amount, and he also knows about Wang Li's family situation. Principal, I don't plan to take the life department exam, I want to take the combat department exam, Wang Li said seriously. What? Cheng Jun was taken aback and then frowned. Are you sure? Sure, Wang Li nodded and said, I chose the road myself. Principal Cheng, you shouldn't be making things difficult for me, right? Cheng Jun's expression suddenly became serious, as if with a sense of authority. Then give me a reason. He is a level 30 exorcist, and at this moment, a slight sense of pressure emanates from his body, making Wang Li feel a bit suffocated. If it weren't for Wang Li being a traveler with a much higher mental quality than his peers, he would probably have been so scared that he couldn't speak. Because the combat genre is more suitable for me, Wang Li said with difficulty, feeling a sense of oppression. Wang Li, are you angry because you chose the wrong profession? Cheng Jun's voice suddenly increased a bit, you're ruining your future, you know. Principal Cheng, my mind is very clear now and I am also very clear about what I am saying. I must take the combat department exam. Wang Li looked fearlessly at Cheng Jun's gaze and said, please give me a chance. He must show determination and perseverance, otherwise the school will not agree to take the combat department exam, and he will not be able to get a pass, and he will not even be able to enter the exam room. Looking at Wang Lijian's resolute expression, Cheng Jun sighed and said, actually, I understand your feelings. I know you want to fight with dolls, but dolls are just disposable consumables without any thinking, with limited stamina and appearance time. There used to be countless couples who had the same naive thoughts as you, but later they all died. Fighting monsters is not just a child's play. If you have no combat ability and are set on fire by monsters, you will only have a dead end. You must think carefully. I have made a decision, Wang Li said decisively. Cheng Jun watched as he remained silent for a long time. This was the first time he had seen such a stubborn student. In the end, he waved his hand and said, okay, then you can go back and prepare for the exam. I will inform you of the class teacher's arrangements later, and the 500,000 yuan will be transferred to your account tonight. I hope you don't regret it then. In fact, shortly after Wang Li awakened his SSS talent, many higher education universities contacted him and expressed their desire to recruit him. And the Education Bureau of Guangling City has put in so much effort to witness Wang Li's potential in making dolls. You should know that this is the world's first SSS talent couple controller, which is completely worth investing in advance. Unexpectedly, this student made such an irrational decision. Since he can't be persuaded, let him experience what a truly brutal and bloodthirsty monster is. Thank you, Principal Cheng. Wang stood up and walked out of the general office of the education department. As soon as he stepped out of the door, Wang Li found that his legs were weak and he almost fell to the ground. Is that the sense of oppression in the aura of level 30 combat-type job changers? Until this moment, Wang Li realized a wave of fear and couldn't help but clench his fist, his eyes flashing with determination. My awakening is an SSS talent with systematic assistance, even as a control mate, it won't be worse than other professions. Later, Wang Li quickly left the teaching building and when passing by the awakening square, he found it empty and no one left. Obviously, the awakening ceremony had ended, and Wang Li did not stop, but quickened his pace. He can't wait to go home and make his first life doll, Thunderbolt General. Chapter 5. Making Dolls. General Thunderbolt is too powerful. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wang Li, did you come back so early today? When Wang Li returned to the entrance of the community, he happened to meet a neighbor ant. Because Wang Liping had to do odd jobs after school and often went out early and returned late, she felt a bit strange. Yeah, I'm on vacation today and I'll also go for a run to exercise. Wang Li responded casually and quickly ran towards his own house. I finally got home. Wang Li's residence is a rental apartment of exactly 10 square meters, about 5 kilometers away from the school. To save money, he usually walks or runs. Although Wang Li quickly received a huge sum of 500,000 yuan, he still chose to run. The purpose is to exercise physical fitness. In Wang Li's view, in this era of nationwide job transfers, no matter what profession one transitions into, one must have a strong physical body. Unexpectedly, under the activation of the system, he became a couple controller. Upon entering the house, Wang Li's first task was to open the system interface. He clicked on the task options and looked at them, only to find that there were not only scene tasks, but also daily tasks, achievement tasks, create 5 lowest level dolls and reward 250 points of production proficiency. Meditate for 1 hour, reward 100 soul power points. Interact with life dolls for 2 hours, reward binding points +1. What are soul power and binding power? Wang Li felt a bit puzzled. This system is quite complex. An hour later, Wang Li finally clarified everything with the system. It turns out that the soul controller I turned into is not the same profession as an ordinary controller. His profession mainly focuses on soul power, which controls the dolls he uses. The dolls summoned in this way will receive a significant increase in physical strength and more flexible mobility. You should know that dolls are usually used by people to assist in combat. They have no autonomous consciousness and will only foolishly go up and fight monsters when they see them, and there is a time limit. If they suffer excessive damage, causing too much physical loss, they will quickly evaporate. Mainly, doll masters do not have a skill tree, only proficiency in creating dolls. The higher the proficiency, the more advanced dolls can be created. But Wang Li is different. As long as his soul power is stronger, he can give the doll more time to exist, and his combat power also increases. He only has one skill now. Soul power perception. Increase the soul power of the control puppet master, and increase the perception and action power of the combat puppet itself. The higher the skill level, the higher the gain. There are other combat-related professions that have magic points, while Wang Li has a soul power point. That is to say, the skill he releases consumes soul power. To Wang Li's surprise, the Wanjia Lottery Center held a daily free lottery with a reward of 10.1000 asset values. Of course, there are also lowest level, lower level, intermediate level, advanced level, and special level lucky draws, which can draw corresponding level doll manufacturing drawings. And every 10 levels, a chance to draw in the world will be unlocked, which is the blueprint for creating life dolls. All lucky draws are drawn with assets, which is money. So, Wang Li found himself increasingly in need of money, and it was a lot of money. How about the luck of today's daily free lottery? Wang Li rubbed his hands and entered the lottery center for a daily draw, directly clicking on it. You have obtained 10 asset values. Nima. Can't you be more generous and give me a minimum guarantee the first time? From now on, I will still be barren. Wang Li's face immediately turned black. After a while, he calmed down and muttered to himself, no matter what, making a doll is important. So Wang Li opened the item list and took out the production blueprint of General Thunderbolt. The production of life dolls mainly uses 4 types of props. Production drawing, exclusive soul essence, active cells, silicic acid gel. The above props can only be obtained from the Wanjia lottery and there are no other channels. In addition to unlocking and opening every level 10, the Wanjia lottery requires 50 million assets to be drawn. This means that if Wang Li is promoted to level 20 and wants to make a second life doll, he needs to save 50 million blue star coins. But this is not something he needs to consider now. Next, Wang Li opened the drawing of General Lightning, and began to put in the silicic acid gel. The first step is to form human joints, which are composed of silicic acid gel. Boom! Wang Li launched the Soul Power Perception skill to carefully affect the fusion of silicic acid gel. Although there are system prompts for this operation, it is still important to be very cautious. Because there is only one set of materials, he does not want the dolls produced to have defects or flaws. Soon, Wang Li was immersed in it. I don't know how long it took, but when all the humanoid joints were made, Wang Li realized that 3 days had passed. The hunger almost made him faint, so he quickly ordered a takeout on his phone. After finishing the takeout, Wang Li didn't feel sleepy at all, instead he was full of energy. Start the second step directly. Assembly. This step is much simpler than humanoid joints, it only took half a day to complete. This, Thunderbolt General. It's so realistic. Wang Li looked at the doll he had made himself and felt incredulous. Chapter 6 Soul Injection. General Thunderbolt not only survived, but also. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. A woman is slim and graceful, with dark purple long hair tied into a fried dough twists braid hanging behind her, and tied into a fried dough twists braid hanging behind her. The most striking feature is a tear mole on the purple corner of the right eye. No matter the appearance and temperament are the same as those of lay film, there is no difference. This is the thunder and lightning general of the Genshin Impact world. But now she is lifeless and has no body temperature, just a shell. And it is a perfect body that is no different from a real person. So, next is the third step. Inject active cells. Wang Li's hen took a deep breath and dressed General Thunderbolt in a purple kimono with patterns of gentian flowers. Although the Wanjia lottery requires 50 million blue star coins, it is still a matter of conscience, and the entire set will be drawn. Of course, besides weapons and equipment. After finishing, Wang Li began injecting active cells into the body shell. This material is only used for making life figures. The key is to use the active cells in her body to perfectly reproduce everything in the Genshin Impact world, Thunder movie. Before production, Wang Li had already inquired about the system. The system indicates that all materials are genuine and genuine. Wang Li couldn't help but marvel at this. The system is amazing. This step is simpler than the first two, the body is already done, just shoot directly. So, Wang Li ejaculated for 12 hours, his eyes bloodshot. If it weren't for his awakening and job transfer, his physical condition would have been slightly better than finding someone, he would have been unable to hold on long ago. Because the fusion of active cells with the body shell takes time. During the fusion period, it cannot be interrupted, otherwise defects may occur. Wang Li will never allow his life doll to have any flaws. At this moment, General Thunderbolt remained motionless like a piece of wood, but his face had already taken on the color of a stranger's blood, and his body temperature miraculously appeared. Fortunately, there were no mistakes. The next step is the final one. Wang Li looked at General Thunderbolt with a hint of excitement in his eyes. Note the soul. He knew that General Thunderbolt was in a state similar to sleep, and all he needed to do was inject her soul essence to come back to life. Wang Li did not immediately take action. He closed his eyes and repeatedly looked at it more than 10 times. The system prompted him to describe the precautions to be taken. This is a crucial step and the final step in determining the scale of the life doll. Injecting soul essence requires the use of soul power to activate. It is obvious that the only way to make life dolls is through soul puppeteers. The perfect life doll needs to activate the 3 souls. Wang Li happens to have 3 soul essences in his hand, which means that each soul essence cannot have any deviation. Otherwise, the soul will have defects. This is Wang Li's first time making a doll, and he is not very skilled in releasing soul power, so there is a high probability of a car overturning. Turnover refers not to failure, but to the perfection of the life doll. Okay, we can start now. We must inject her soul intact. When Wang Li opened his eyes, a faint golden radiance appeared on his body, which was a manifestation of using the 10th level skill soul power perception. In an instant, 3 soul essences resonated and floated, sparkling with brilliant thunder. Wang Li's soul power pulled them and drifted towards the body of General Thunderbolt. Shit! The 3 soul essences sink into the forehead, heart, and lower abdomen together. Suddenly, General Thunderbolt's body moved, and his long eyelashes trembled slightly, emitting a ray of vitality. Gradually, the vitality grew stronger, and General Thunderbolt's face became more rosy, and he slowly heard the sound of breathing. Successfully created the life doll, Thunderbolt General, and completed the task of having a perfect life doll. You will receive a Thunderbolt General exclusive weapon gift pack of X1, experience plus 5,000, and bond point plus 30. At this moment, the sound of the system echoed in Wang Li's mind, and he saw the option of life doll binding shining brightly. He instinctively clicked on it, which displayed the name of General Thunderbolt. Level 10 experience. 5,000/26515 skills. Level 1 Source Stream, Level 1 Divine Transformation Obsidian Eye Opening, Level 1 Mysterious Meaning Dream True Speaking, Level 1000 Wishes, and Level 1 Superior Body. Note: your Thunderbolt General replicates 100%, inherits all talents, and converts them into skills. Binding. 30, Equipment. None. Tip: you have 10 binding points that have not been assigned. Are you using them for General Thunderbolt? Yes. Wang Li did not hesitate to use it with his mind. Successfully used, Thunderbolt General binding plus 10. After 5 days of hard work, I finally made the Thunderbolt General. General Thunderbolt's dark purple eyes were very agile, looking at Wang Li. Hello, General Thunderbolt, my name is Wang Li. From now on, we will be partners fighting side by side, she said with a smile. Did you summon my soul here? General Thunderbolt frowned slightly, remained silent for a moment, and said, my name is Bullhead, and you can also call me Thunderfilm. What is this place? No, it's just a doll. How could she have any memory? This statement made Wang Li very strange and immediately asked the system in secret. Due to the perfect replica of the host's soul injection, even General Thunderbolt's memory has been replicated. Ah! After listening to the explanation provided by the system, Wang Li blinked. So, is the Thunderbolt General in front of me not only alive, but also real? Chapter 7. The Importance of Ties. Daily Interaction. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You haven't answered my question yet. At the same time, Wang Li felt a sense of oppression coming towards him, and saw General Thunderbolt staring at him coldly, as if he was about to take action. Damn it, you're playing with me. This life puppet is too perfect, with autonomous consciousness and memory, as if it is not controlled by its own soul power. Wang Li thought for a moment and said, my family. General Thunderbolt looked at the decoration inside the room, then at his own body and said, your skills in making dolls are not inferior to mine, and you have attached my soul inside. Who are you? She was deeply shocked. How did this ordinary person do it? I am a doll controller, and your body was indeed created by me. To be precise, you are my combat doll. Wang Li explained truthfully that he could confirm that this life doll replicated the soul of Beelzebub. In fact, General Thunderbolt was simply transformed by Bullhead with his own body, theoretically able to perfectly replicate everything of her and surpass the limit of her lifespan. Wang Li's original intention was to create such a Thunderbolt General, but he did not expect such a result to occur. Actually, the host doesn't have to worry. Even if you make a real movie, she will always be your life doll. As long as the binding point exceeds 10, she cannot break free from your soul power control. Of course, the higher the binding point, the better, and there is no limit. The sound of the system suddenly rang out. Oh! Wang Li's eyes lit up, it seemed that his worries were unnecessary. Ties are so important, it seems that daily interactive tasks must not be left behind. Battle dolls. General Thunderbolt was slightly taken aback. The Thunder God and her grand 7 rulers of the world had actually become a controlled combat doll. Goo goo. Wang Li looked sideways, and the sound came from General Thunderbolt's belly. Are you hungry? As he spoke, his stomach also made a gurgling sound. General Thunderbolt pursed his lips and remained silent. Wait a moment, I'll order takeout. Wang Li picked up his phone and upon opening it, he found that there were over 99 missed calls, including those from his homeroom teacher, classmates, and colleagues doing odd jobs. In order to make a life doll, I worked hard for 5 days in a row. During this time, I only ordered takeout twice, ignoring all external connections. Fortunately, those people didn't find their homes, otherwise it would be embarrassing. General Thunderbolt looked at him in confusion and said, "What is takeout?" "It's about buying food and having someone deliver it to your door." Wang Li spoke while placing an order. "After ordering the takeout, I checked my account and found that 500000 has already been credited." Wang Li's mouth curved with a smile, "And the Municipal Education Bureau really values my talent. But I am indeed different from the couples they know." Later, he replied to all the people who had contacted him one by one. Seeing that General Thunderbolt stopped speaking, Wang Li clicked on the System Lottery Center and conducted a daily free draw. "You have obtained 120 asset values. After drawing for 5 days, I finally reached 3 digits once." Dong dong dong. At this moment, a knock on the door sounded, indicating that the takeout had arrived. Wang Li opened the door to retrieve it and saw General Thunderbolt standing quietly with a somewhat stiff expression. He gestured to her, "Don't stand, come and eat together. When will your enemy appear?" General Thunderbolt, who had been silent for a long time, suddenly spoke up. It was impolite of Wang Li to make her a combat doll, but just now, she wanted to take action or leave. But the result seemed to be bound by a mysterious force, forcing her to temporarily accept the matter. "It's still early." Wang Li placed the 2 takeout bags in his hand on the table and casually opened them. "You don't have to be so nervous, just fill your stomach to have the strength to fight," he said. "Is this?" General Thunderbolt came to the table and couldn't help but swallow. "Cake and milk tea." Wang Li inserted a straw into the milk tea and handed it to her. "It's all sweet." "You know me quite well," General Thunderbolt said lightly. "Just a little bit." General Thunderbolt took a silent sip, his cold eyes slightly widened. "Ah, it's like the taste of dumpling milk." Later, she picked up a piece of cake and took a bite. This dessert tasted good. General Thunderbolt couldn't help but look at Wang Li, feeling a bit puzzled. Since he chose her as the combat doll, the enemy must be very strong. But why hasn't he sensed any sense of danger after so long? As a Thunder God Shadow Warrior, she always maintains the highest level of vigilance to deal with all crises. You have completed the daily task of interacting with General Thunderbolt for 2 hours, with a binding point of +1. At this moment, the sound of the system suddenly sounded. This completes a daily task. Wang Li's gaze flickered. After finishing his meal, he took a comfortable shower, changed into clean clothes, and continued to complete other daily tasks. Let's skip making 5 lowest level dolls and complete meditation for 1 hour. Wang Li pondered for a moment before sitting on the bed and meditating. Because the drawings of the lowest level dolls in the system store are too expensive, he will go to the professional exchange group of toy controllers tomorrow to see if he receives cheaper ones. You have completed a daily task of meditation for 1 hour, and your soul power has increased by 100. When Wang Li heard the sound of the system, "Just lie down and fall asleep." In fact, he was already exhausted, but he didn't want to let go of the daily tasks he could complete. After all, a little makes a lot, otherwise you will fall behind others. Chapter 8. The Rice Light of Shaving Grass. The day of the college entrance examination has arrived. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next day, when Wang Li opened his eyes, it was already past 11 o'clock in the morning. "I slept so soundly last night." He stood up and stretched his arms, about to go get his phone when he saw General Thunderbolt in the corner of his eye. She closed her eyes, propped her upper body up with one leg, sat in the air, her hands on her knees, and her posture looked very strange. "Good morning." General Thunderbolt had already sensed the movement and opened his eyes to look at him. Do you usually get up at this time? No, today is just an exception. In order to make you, I have been sleeping non-stop for 5 whole days. Wang Li shook his head. This is the latest time he has risen since he traveled to this world. For school and daily life, I wake up early and sleep late 356 days a year. If it weren't for Guangling City being a safe zone, it might have been eaten by monsters. 100 years have passed since the world's changes, and to this day, the crisis of dimensional cracks has never stopped. If it weren't for the advanced second-turn magician setting up a magic formation, coupled with the security officers of the Warrior Bureau patrolling and scouting day and night, the situation would have been calm in the first second, perhaps it could have become a paradise full of monsters in just 1 second. No one knows when a crisis will occur, and no one can guarantee 100% safety. Once a life-oriented profession encounters a monster, the only way out is to die. This is also the main reason why every student wants to switch to a combat profession. I can't fight, at least I can still run. 5 days. General Thunderbolt's heart trembled. In order to create a doll that can perfectly replicate everything of itself, countless experiments were conducted, countless failed products were discarded, and it took an unknown amount of time to create a nearly perfect one. Even so, the doll generals she made still have flaws. But this young man only took 5 days to create himself that was no different from a living person and full of vitality. I was too tired yesterday and fell asleep without realizing it. Wang Li naturally didn't know what she was thinking in her heart, and suddenly remembered something. Are you hungry? It's a bit, isn't it? General Thunderbolt withdrew his posture and nodded lightly. I want to go outside and learn about this world. 4 days. Wang Li thought for a moment. In 4 days, I will take you to take the college entrance examination. I need to prepare for the exam these days and sort out some things. General Thunderbolt was taken aback and said, the college entrance examination. Can I become the top scorer in the combat department of Guangling City? It's up to you then. Without further explanation, Wang Li smiled and said. Immediately, after picking up his phone and finishing the takeout, he focused all his thoughts on the system. You have obtained 40 assets. The daily free draw is in double digits. I don't know if the probability of the draw is too low or if the face is too dark. Forget it, it's just for free anyway. Wang Li curled his lips and told General Thunderbolt that if he heard a knock on the door, he would open the door and take out food first, without waiting for him. Afterwards, he began to do daily tasks. You have completed a daily task of meditation for 1 hour, and your soul power has increased by 100. What is the use of this soul power value? After completing the task for so many days, Wang Li still hadn't figured it out, so he asked the system. Immediately after, he received a response from the system. Originally, the soul power value was actually equivalent to his blue bar, but different from other professions. Not only does it require skills to activate, but it also requires energy to bind life dolls to use skills. Of course, there are soul power recovery potions available for sale in the system mall. So, adding 100 per day is not too much. Wang Li frowned slightly and quickly checked his personal information. 10700, this is his current soul power value. Obviously, that 700 points obtained from activating the system for 7 days per day means a fixed plus 1000 for each level. It seems that the free allocation points for upgrading need to be attribute points that mainly increase soul power, otherwise I won't be able to bear it when there are too many life dolls. By the way, there is also an exclusive weapon gift package that hasn't been opened yet. Thinking of this, Wang Li found the gift package in the item list and opened it directly. You have obtained the Rice Light of Shaving Grass X1, not bad, it's a specialty of Lei movies. Wang Li's eyes lit up and his heart moved. The light of shaving grass appeared out of thin air next to General Thunderbolt, who was still enjoying desserts. I've prepared a weapon for you. Let's try it out after finishing. This is. General Thunderbolt, chewing on the cake, was stunned, his purple and white eyes showing a look of shock. Isn't this her beloved knife? Why is it in Wang Li's hands? Don't look at me, don't ask where this weapon comes from, just use it for you. Wang Li picked up his portion of rice and started eating it directly. Upon hearing this, General Thunderbolt remained silent and reached out to stroke the rice light of the razor blade, immediately confirming that it was her beloved sword. Thank you. Wang Li glanced at her and said, who are you thanking? What's wrong? Shouldn't we add an object after it? What does it mean? For example, thank you, master, and so on. General Thunderbolt stared at him silently and pursed his lips. You were created by me, it's reasonable to shout, master. Wang Li's expression immediately became serious. General Thunderbolt remained silent, just staring at him. Alright, don't force yourself if you don't speak, Wang Li waved his hand. General Thunderbolt's cherry lips wriggled a few times before speaking softly, thank you. Master. You're welcome. Wang Li couldn't help but laugh when he saw this. By the way, you better not try the knife later. This little house can't withstand your thunderous force with a light blow. Although I know it's a doll, it's quite interesting to tease. After finishing his meal, Wang Li received a system prompt. Complete the daily task of interacting with General Thunderbolt for 2 hours, with TI +1. In this way, time rushed by and 4 days flew by in a flash, arriving at the day of the college entrance examination. On that day, Wang Li got up early and took General Thunderbolt out. Chapter 9. Shocking. Is she your doll? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Before leaving, Wang Li glanced at General Thunderbolt's panel. Life doll. Thunderbolt General level. 10 experience. 5000/26515 skills. Source level 1, Divine Transformation Obsidian Eye Opening level 1, Auspicious Meaning, Dream True Speaking level 1, Thousand Wishes level 1, and Superior Imperial Body level 1 ties. 46 Equipment. Razor Rice Light and at this moment, his personal information panel. Name. Wang Li level. 10 experience. 5000/26515, experience sharing between doll controllers and life dolls, soul power value. 12,100 attributes. Physical fitness 30, spirit 30, strength 30, intelligence 30, agility 30 skill. Soul power perception level 1 equipment. None, perfectly replicating and inheriting the life doll from the Lei movie, coupled with specialized combat skills, it has at least greatly improved its combat effectiveness. Wang Li's gaze flickered. Awakening my SSS talent has tripled my 5-dimensional attributes. As long as I cooperate well with General Thunderbolt, it should not be difficult for me to become the top scorer in Guangling City. In the past few days, in addition to completing daily tasks and practicing his unique skill, soul power perception, he has also freed up a lot of time to go online and search for information on the top scorers of various combat departments in Guangling City. Due to awakening the SSS talent, his panel attributes are the highest among all candidates. In fact, after awakening their talent and transitioning to a new job, each person's attributes will be improved to a certain extent based on their talent level. Before awakening, all level 10 candidates had a 5-dimensional attribute of 10. This is also the importance of awakening talent. Wang Li is the only candidate in Guangling City who has awakened his SSS talent for so many years. If he hadn't switched to a career in the life department, he probably wouldn't have gone through the college entrance examination process and could have directly entered the top 10 universities in Longwa. Wang Li Zhao, the girl next to you looks so fresh. Who is she? Just as I went downstairs, I met several neighbor aunties and curiously looked at General Thunderbolt. Sorry, I'm in a hurry. Wang Li took General Thunderbolt's hand and walked quickly towards the entrance of the community. General Thunderbolt frowned slightly and did not break free. Along the way, many people looked sideways because General Thunderbolt was different from ordinary people, which inevitably aroused their curiosity. Half an hour later, Wang Li took her into school. Have you heard that someone in Class 2, Grade 3 of our school has awakened an unprecedented talent for SSS? What is his name? Wang Li. Yes, Wang Li, it's a pity that I switched to a life-oriented profession. I'm still a very money-burning couple controller. It's really a waste of such good talent. Yeah, actually I was super envious at first, but now I think that Wang Li is quite foolish. If I were to choose a hidden combat class, I would definitely. Next year, it's time for us to awaken and switch jobs. Maybe the next awakened SSS talent will be me, Entering the school gate, Wang Li immediately heard many students discussing themselves. General Thunderbolt silently followed behind him, scanning the surroundings with curiosity and listening to the conversations of the students. Sleeping trough, look. There's a beautiful woman. Suddenly, a student shouted loudly. In an instant, many students around turned to Wang Li's side. Ha! Isn't that Wang Li? He must be so handsome. Who is the purple-haired beauty next to him? Have you ever seen her? Wang Li ignored the voices of the students and walked into the classroom with General Thunderbolt. There are already more than 10 students in the classroom who are discussing what the college entrance examination questions will be this year and whether the difficulty will be greater than last year. Brother Li, good morning. As soon as Wang Li and General Lei entered the classroom, a classmate greeted them. Suddenly, everyone looked over together, their eyes widened one by one, and suddenly fell silent. What's wrong with you? Wang Li guessed that they mostly had this reaction when they saw General Thunderbolt, but still asked. Wang Li, you're here. At this moment, the voice of homeroom teacher Guo sounded from behind. Good morning, Teacher Guo. Wang Li turned back to greet the homeroom teacher. You come to my office and I have something to say to you, Guo smiled slightly. Wang Li nodded and pulled General Thunderbolt out. Which class is this female classmate from? What are you holding her for? Guo asked with a puzzled expression on his face. Wang Li thought for a moment and said, she is my doll. He brought General Thunderbolt to participate in the college entrance examination combat department exam. The life doll only has a living form and cannot be transformed into a doll, so there is no need to hide it, just show it off. What? Guo widened his eyes in surprise and looked at General Thunderbolt. Are you telling me it's a doll, such a living person? Who are you fooling? I am indeed the doll he made. At this moment, the silent Thunderbolt General spoke up. How could this be possible? Guo couldn't believe it and looked at Wang Li in a voice. Wang Li, I know you want to take the combat department exam, but you can't joke with a living person, otherwise your exam qualification will be cancelled. Why did I make it so perfect in the beginning? This is troublesome, it will be difficult to explain clearly for a while. Wang Li felt regretful in his heart and spread his hand, saying helplessly, Teacher Guo, I didn't lie to you. She is really my combat doll. Okay. Since you're saying that, let me take her to a test and see if she's alive or a doll. We'll have an answer soon. Despite knowing that Wang Li is a student with good character and never lies, Guo still doesn't believe it. Chapter 10. The college entrance examination begins. Isn't this seeking death? You are listening at novelfull.audio. I still can't believe that this is the doll you made. At the entrance of the testing room, Guo frowned. Just now, General Thunderbolt underwent a full-body test, and the results showed that each item of data was extraordinary and did not have the material characteristics that a puppet should have. However, Wang Li repeatedly emphasized that this was his self-created life doll, and his tone was full of affirmation, which shook Guo's doubt slightly. After all, he knew that Wang Li had no relatives or friends, so theoretically he couldn't find anyone to play the role of a doll. Moreover, this girl with purple hair and pupils is not a dragon person. Ding ding ding. At this moment, a bell rang. Guozé glanced at his watch and said, the exam is about to start. You go to the playground and gather. Here is your admission ticket. Don't worry, Teacher Guo. I will prove that the couple controller has combat ability. Wang Li took the admission ticket and left with General Thunderbolt. During the test for General Thunderbolt, Guozé told him that more than 10 universities have issued notices to recruit him, and they have all provided good subsidies and benefits. The rarity of SSS talent is not something to say, even life-related professions are highly valued by many universities. Wang Li remained unmoved and politely declined without hesitation, insisting on taking the combat department exam. Attention all candidates, hold your admission ticket and follow the instructions of the class teacher to queue up and enter the examination room. Amidst repeated broadcasts, candidates from 10 classes at Guanling 4th Middle School have gathered on the playground. At the center of the playground, a misty secret realm gate hangs there, appearing very mysterious. This is created by a second-turn magician using magic, and the monsters in it are captured from the dimensional crack space, which requires a lot of manpower and material resources. Longhua is willing to invest generously in cultivating outstanding combat talents. I hope this exam question won't be too difficult. That question setter is a notorious ruthless person. I heard that exam questions are getting more and more difficult year by year, and if you can get an A.level rating, it's already over the second-tier entrance exam line. I'm so nervous to hear you say that. Many candidates were whispering and discussing. The college entrance examination questions for both life and combat departments are unified across the country. The high school entrance examination secret realm arranged by the question-setting teacher has become increasingly difficult year by year, which has led to many candidates in previous exams complaining that it is not a secret realm that new job seekers can pass, but rather a difficult and torturous one. Quiet. At this moment, a loud voice sounded. In an instant, all the candidates closed their mouths. Now, each class teacher hands out the scroll to each candidate. When the door to the secret realm opens, write your name on the scroll, and then use consciousness to communicate with the door to the secret realm, and it will be transmitted inside. If you encounter a life-threatening situation during the exam, you may tear off the dividing line on the scroll and exit. Wishing you all an ideal score. The speaker was the invigilator, with a very serious expression and exuding a sense of authority. As soon as the words fell, all the class teachers took action. A few minutes later, the scroll was handed out to every candidate. Boom! In the next moment, the door of the secret realm shook violently, emitting a brilliant light. It slowly opened to both sides, and a powerful magical aura surged out of it. We're about to start. Wang Li stared at the entrance of the secret realm and spoke softly. This is to General Thunderbolt. In fact, there are many candidates around who occasionally cast surprised glances at him and General Thunderbolt. Several classmates who played well with him have asked several times. Wang Li told them that this was his combat doll, but everyone's reaction was the same as Guozé's, expressing strong doubts about it. At this moment, the mentally tense candidates are all writing their names on the scroll. Dungeon Secret Realm. National Examination for Enrollment in Higher Education Institutions of the Combat Department after 100 years of employment transfer, Level. Level 10, Difficulty. Simple difficulty, number of people. 1.4 people, note. This is a secret realm filled with goblins, bull-headed monsters, and cat monsters. The mutated monsters are even more ferocious. Good luck to all candidates. In an instant, every candidate's mind revealed information about the test question's secret realm. Sleeping trough. It looks so difficult. There are 3 types of monsters scattered inside, how many should there be? I remember there was no cat demon in the previous exam, but this time it was added, which is outrageous. Many examinees are not only roast. Immediately, many candidates initiated team-building invitations to acquaintances around them. Of course, there are also many candidates forming wild teams while shouting. Auxiliary professions like paladins are naturally the most popular and the only ones with the right to choose teams. This scene is extremely reminiscent of online games. Wang Li, who was already mentally prepared, finished writing his name on the scroll, pulled General Thunderbolt, and without hesitation, communicated with the gate of the secret realm. The next second, Wang Li and General Thunderbolt disappeared. Wang Li, that kid. Guozhe, who had been closely following Wang Li, couldn't help but feel surprised when he saw this. Teaming up to enter the secret realm will mean equal scores, all rewards will be evenly distributed, and no one will pass the level alone with high scores. However, the danger and difficulty have undoubtedly been greatly reduced. But this is a real game. If you die in the secret realm, then you really die. Damn it, who is that? Just enter in seconds, is it so fierce? It seems to be Wang Li from Class 2. Speaking of which, isn't he a toy controller? Why did he come here for the exam? Wang Li's performance immediately caught the attention of many candidates from other classes, and they were all surprised. But now is not the time for them to dwell on this issue. 2 minutes later, all the candidates entered the secret realm. Are the control puppeteers here to take the combat department exam? Oh my goodness, that student is really brave. Which class of student is it? He didn't even understand his career positioning after 10 years of compulsory education for nothing. For a moment, the teachers and students in the audience were in an uproar, feeling that this class seemed to be out of place. This is just chaos. Ching Jun, the principal of the 4th middle school, turned black. Originally, it was very gratifying that the school had produced a rare SSS gifted student, but this Wang Li did not take an ordinary path. Refusing special admissions from over a dozen universities and taking the combat department exam is enough, it's beyond our ability to enter the secret realm alone now. Isn't this seeking death?